DirtVision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and Super Dirt Car Series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. DirtVision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at DirtVision.com.
Wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! Dirt Racing will be available September 27th. Pre-order your copy today.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to round number 6 of the 2022 World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series powered by iRacing. We are halfway through the 2022 season, and it brings us to Kokomo Speedway in Indiana for the second half of this year. The first half has been exciting. Can't wait to see what this quarter mile brings us this evening. Tim Terry, Reese Gardner here to bring you through all the action. And Reese, it's been a fun season so far. We're getting ready for what is now the second half of this year.
Indeed, it's been quite a dramatic season so far as well, with the 2020 champ Hayden Cardwell falling off the wagon just a little bit after taking the win in round 1. The most successful driver so far has definitely been Evan C. He's only ever finished first or second in features tonight. I cannot wait to see what comes off here as we take a look at what's to come this season.
Half down, half to go in this 10-race season, and we're going to see some great venues coming up. Knoxville, Weedsport, Volusia, and of course the dirt track at Charlotte is where we will crown our 2022 champion. But tonight is Kokomo, and we mentioned the points, top 15, trying to race their way into this series for the next season. So that bubble is tight. That is a great points battle. But as you mentioned, Reese, Evan C. kind of has that advantage because he's been so darn consistent in feature competition.
Absolutely. Blake Majulis, the 2019 champion, he's had a bit less of a consistent run, hasn't he? He's taken 2 wins in features along the way, but a 3rd, a 5th, and a 14th at Eldora has really put him on the back foot. It's still close between Kendall Tucker and Dylan Yeager, though. As you can see, only 3 points between them, as well as between Rumsey and Wilson.
A lot still to be decided. This racetrack, though, going to provide some great racing action. Bring us up to speed, Reese, at this Kokomo Speedway.
Well, Indiana is home to a few famous ovals, and if you're into dirt, then Kokomo is certainly the place to be. A fantastic circuit, this one. It's only a quarter mile in length, and it's been around since the 1940s, home of the Sprint Car Smackdown, of course. It's a wide and flat circuit, so it's very tempting to throw slide jobs up the inside, but there's some pretty heavy banking around the outside, right up against the wall, so you're going to be seeing the majority of drivers running the right rear up along that banking, almost hitting the wall to try and gain as much speed as possible. I can't wait to see how the racing action plays out around here.
And we will begin to get our heat racing underway. We're going to start with 4 heat races this evening, Reese. 10 laps apiece, taking the top 4 to the main event. And this first heat race has 3 drivers that have qualified for every main event so far. We'll see if they can continue it on in round number 6. But heat race number 1 set to get to the grid.
Indeed. First heat, 10 laps, and Blake Majulis is going to be on the front row alongside Damien Kiefer. The number 00 of Kendall Tucker is going to start alongside Blake Murray for 3rd and 4th. Jesse Wall and Alex Bergeron, World of Outlaws Sprint Car champion there on row 3. Nathan Waddell and Cody Sieber going to start on row 4. And our final car will be Travis St. Clair in 9th. Small field, of course, it being heat races, but it's going to be tight and it's going to be fast.
These heat races have provided plenty of action this season, so we will see what happens here. 4 of these heat races taking the top 4. Then we'll go to 2 last chance showdowns. We'll add a couple laps. We'll take the top 2 from each of those, and then the feature is 50 laps in length. Mention the 3 drivers that have qualified for every show so far this year. Blake Majulis, obviously our most recent winner on this series last week at Federated Auto Parts I-55, will line up front. Damien Kiefer has been in all of these shows, as has Kendall Tucker, at least feature competition-wise. And that car that's at the back, you see the green and the black of Travis St. Clair. Up till last week, Reese, he was a qualifier in the first 4 rounds and just missed it last week. So keep your eye on this 13 because he's got some work to do. Speaking of work, the work is going to pay off for somebody. $10,000 to the champion this season, goes all the way back to 10th in the points payout, and each race pays $3, $2, and $100 for the top 3 positions when it comes to feature competitions. So we've seen some drivers, Reese, so far come from 8th, 7th, 9th, back row of this to make it in through a heat race, but with the talent, it's going to be quite difficult. Keep your eye on Travis St. Clair and see what he can do.
Indeed, I'll be keeping my eye on him for sure. It's definitely, I think that he'll have a go at plenty of slide jobs around here. I mentioned earlier just how wide this track is, and having a look at the dynamic track here on iRacing, you can see that there's already 2 lines forming. There's that top line up against the wall and the low line just rounding off the corner, hitting the apex right in the middle. We'll see what Travis St. Clair decides to go for, but I think Blake Majulis' issue here at the start is going to be trying to keep Damien Kiefer behind.
Yeah, Damien Kiefer is going to be solid, as will Kendall Tucker. Tucker has had a couple of really good races so far this season as well. So let's see what will transpire here over these 10 laps. We'll have one more pace lap and then get it back to the green flag to kick off qualifying for round number 6 at Kokomo Speedway. And we'll see what this racetrack can provide. As you see the weather conditions, temperatures 83 degrees, track temps 81, a little bit warmer than what we saw the last couple of weeks, but these drivers are definitely going to be able to handle it as we get ready to come back to green.
Well, we'll be away here as the pace truck makes its way into the pits. Field bunched up nice and tightly here, Tim. Damien Kiefer versus Blake Majulis off the front.
Green flag is out. We're underway in round number 6. First of 4 heat races. We already fan out 2 and 3 wide. Up in front, Majulis going to be able to take it away. 4 wide, almost going down. A little more contact, and they are getting at it once again. Up the hill, and we've got a battle for the transfer that's 2 wide.
Indeed. Wow, Damien Kiefer was really shuffled out there, wasn't he? They're 3 wide, and look at Kiefer. Goodness gracious, he just went right through that 3 wide action there. Looking very close here as the number 79 tries his best to make his way through. Not much of an advance forward though from Travis St. Clair. He has gained 3 spots. We'll have to wait and see if he can make it into the top 4.
Majulis has gone up in front. Kendall Tucker trying to do the same, but pulling away from the battle. This is the battle here for position number 5 in behind as Travis St. Clair tries to come from the back row all the way to a transfer position. He right on board with Blake Murray. Murray slaps the wall just a little bit there, trying to use that cushion and get himself a little bit closer towards the front. He's got a handful of steering wheel trying to make it happen.
Yeah, he's got Travis St. Clair right up in front of him, and you see that St. Clair is going down to the bottom, obviously trying to use a bit more of the fresh clay down on the bottom. But Murray seems pretty comfortable running the high line there. We'll see how that works out for him later on. We only have 4 laps to go. Meanwhile, these heat races just go very quickly. Majulis is just untouchable at the moment, though. Look at him, a second ahead.
Absolutely. As they continue to roll on, this is your racer position number 3, and looking up, Tucker in the 00 goes back to the inside as Bergeron has a moment, and they will swap that position again. Majulis way out in front, the battle for second. Get a battle for 4th on our hands. This one is getting intense in the final 2 laps.
It is indeed. Jesse Wall trying to hold off Damien Kiefer, who's almost on his rear bumper here. Let's see what kind of slide job he can pull off. He's right to the inside, almost hitting the tire on the inside of the corner, and just getting side by side on the exit too, but checkered flag.
And it's going to be Blake Majulis taking the win, and the battle in behind is going to fall to Jesse Wald, who picks up the spot, and Damien Kiefer, heartbreak for him, Reese, as he falls back to position number 5. It's a good start in the last chance showdown, but it's not the start that he wanted, because he wanted that A main. So Majulis, Tucker, Bergeron, and Wall all advance. Everybody else going to a last chance qualifier as we get ready to grid heat number 2.
Indeed we do, and the number 25 of Zach McSwain is going to be starting P1 alongside Chase Barbara. Felix Roy got a podium in the feature at Eldora. He's going to start alongside Hayden Cardwell, who's having a pretty tough season. Maybe he can turn it around here. Barrett Bishop and Justin Norwood will round out the top 6, and the last 2 positions going to be Ben Countermarsh with Austin Sessions bringing up the rear. Let's see what happens here then, Tim, because it's looking like a pretty close field here, and don't underestimate Cardwell.
And for more information on how to get your iRacing career started, maybe you want to do some dirt racing, maybe you want to go pavement, maybe you want to turn left and right on road courses, whatever your fancy is, you can do it here on iRacing. Log on to iRacing.com today and find out how you can get started with your career. And you could see yourself here potentially on a Monday night with the World of Outlaws ButtKicker late models, and as the 91 you see on your screen. Felix missed the first couple of races this season, Reese, but he has really turned it up the last couple of weeks. This is a pretty stacked heat race. Zach McSwain the last couple of weeks has really found himself a way to qualify well. He qualifies up in front on this one. The 2 drivers I think I'm going to keep my eye on are the drivers that are actually in row number 3 with Barrett Bishop, the qualifying series winner, and Justin Norwood. Norwood has been hot and cold this season. He's had some really quick runs. He's had some runs he's wanted to forget about as well. They were at a beach house, I think, last week. So hopefully he's back and focused on what is to come here this evening as Norwood will roll off position number 6.
Indeed, but number 25 here, all white machine, and definitely making a case for himself here is Zach McSwain. We're waiting to see then when the pace truck decides to pull off. It looks like we're about to get going, and drivers will start to roll. 2 laps under the pace truck, and we'll get ready to go green. Well, what can we learn from that first heat? What can we expect from the racing tonight? Well, some drivers definitely stick into the high line, but have a look at that, Tim. You see how big the groove is, how dark it is? That's going to be so slick up there.
Yeah, absolutely it is, and I'm sure some of these drivers are taking notes and seeing what they can do in their respective heat races. Keep in mind, Chase Barbara sitting in position number 2, missed last week's racing action at I-55, and we saw on the points graphic at the start of the night that he's sitting in 15th when it comes to the points. He wants to gain a few more and give himself a little bit of a cushion when it comes to trying to lock himself in to next season. He can go a long way in that this evening by first qualifying for the main event here at Kokomo. Heat race number 2 is underway, and we're already 3 wide, and it's for the second place position, trying to be for first as Zach McSwain winds it up. He'll take the lead back.
Taking the high line there very nicely, getting that momentum down these very short straights at Kokomo. Felix Roy and Hayden Cardwell briefly making contact there as they were trying their best to battle over 4th position and 3rd as well. Looking very close, but for now, it seems that the transfer is safe as long as they don't battle too hard.
Absolutely. They need to be concerned with themselves and not necessarily with anybody else. There's Hayden Cardwell on the outside in the 0-7. We mentioned the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs for Hayden. He's had a couple of bad heat races this year that has really put him behind the 8 ball, including one race where he did not make the main event. He's battling now with Felix Roy for position number 3. And if anything happens, you know that Barrett Bishop and the 4 are going to be there. As the 91 does a great job powering that thing on the inside, trying to make it happen. There is Justin Norwood. He's definitely not at the lake house this week. He is back in his regular seat, getting ready to do it.
Racing in VR as well, so that's full immersion, but oh dear, he's had a bad run through that corner. The front of the car got caught up in the wall there, so that's lost him some momentum as he's trailing off the back of this top 4, top 5 battle. But have a look at that. That was a bit of a problem there for Austin Sessions. Goodness gracious, almost a crash, but it looks like the racing's been pretty clean so far here. Oh, big slide job from Hayden Cardwell, meanwhile, trying to make his way past Felix Roy, but Felix takes it right back with another slider.
Takes it back, and here comes Cardwell again. Some great racing, and just like that, with this quarter-mile racetrack, we are already coming to the white flag this time as they continue to swap crossovers. The 3 of Barrett Bishop is there waiting for something to happen. White flag is out, and again, little contact up the hill. They're going to make a little more. Here comes Barrett Bishop, and those 2 are going to miss the field as Norwood also gets by. Checkered flag for Zach McSwain. And after Hayden Cardwell and Felix Roy went back and forth, it was great to watch, Reese, but it's going to be 2 drivers sitting on the outside looking in when it comes to their last chance showdown. Zach McSwain wins, Chase Barbaro second, and Barrett Bishop and Justin Norwood able to capitalize with Cardwell, Countermarsh, Roy, and Sessions completing your field. They will go to a last chance showdown, and we will step away for a quick break and catch our breath. After that, we will be back from Kokomo in just a moment.
The greatest shows on dirt have the best fan gear in motorsports. Show your support for World of Outlaws sprints and late models. Go to worldofoutlaws.com and make your way to the Buy Now section in the upper right corner. You'll find hats, shirts, hoodies, and other great souvenirs for all fans. Spend $50 or more to get free shipping. Shop anytime at worldofoutlaws.com.
The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! World of Outlaws Dirt Racing will be available September 27th. Pre-order your copy today.
The World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Pick up your ButtKicker today at thebuttkicker.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available September 27th on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Pre-order your copy today.
Welcome back to Kokomo, and if you missed the first 2 heat races, you missed a lot of excitement, Reese, especially in that second heat race. But guess what? We've got 2 more to go. Here's heat race number 3.
Indeed, Dylan Yeager is going to start alongside Cameron Kaysen on the first row here, followed up by Jaden Krause and Mike Augustine. It's JD Brown for Slick Sim Sports starting alongside Desmond Busby, who has gotten the feature podium this season. Christopher Maguire and Joe Cease are going to round out this 8-car field to round out Heat 3 of we're expecting 4 heats here tonight. This is going to be an interesting one, this.
I think it is. If you look at Dylan Yeager, he's had a very consistent season, and he's made every single race so far and trying to get into that feature later on through this heat race by getting into the top 4. Then you look down the list, Mike Augustine has been pretty good this year as well, sporting a white paint scheme this evening. Desmond Busby has had some really good runs in the 82 Hill Start outside of a transfer position. You look at, we keep talking about the positives and all these drivers that are doing good. On the opposite end, and this is the way this competition is because it's so stout, Joe Cease is going to start in row number 4 on the outside in position number 8. He has failed to make a main event so far this season, Reese, and he's got a long way to go in this heat race.
Yeah, he does, unfortunately, but that's how it works sometimes. He'll be hoping that things go well for him here in this heat race, and he'll probably be hoping for something similar like what happened between Felix Roy and Hayden Cardwell in the last heat. Drivers battling over the last 2 transfer positions and ending up almost taking each other out as they roll away. Look at that. That was a beautiful getaway there from Dylan Yeager. He means business, doesn't he?
Absolutely, he does. And oh, by the way, just to put a footnote on that bottom point, Felix Roy, after that last heat, not very happy. The last chance showdown should be a very spirited affair as he tries to make his way into the main event this evening. But Dylan Yeager, one of those drivers that has made all 5 feature events so far this season. Cameron Kaysen on the outside. Jaden Krause and Mike Augustine begin this 3rd heat race inside a transfer position to qualify in to the main event. But you've got a guy like Desmond Busby who's had some really good runs this season, has had some top podium finishes, looking to continue the trend. He'll start from 6th. This one's a very intriguing heat race. Green flag flies. We're underway in heat race number 3. Dylan Yeager to the outside, already being challenged to the inside by Jaden Krause. What a run.
Yeah, what a run indeed from Jaden. He's working that fresher clay in the middle of the circuit, and that's working out well for him, but it seems that our leader has gotten the rhythm down, but inside line being worked magnificently there by JD Brown. He's trying his best to work his way up. This battle for 4th place is incredibly tight as he spins. That was turned around there by Mike Augustine, it seems.
And Mike Augustine able to grab position number 2. It has allowed Dylan Yeager to get out from the rest of this field, and that little push ahead has allowed Mike Augustine to move in to position number 2, and a driver that was in a transfer position in Krause. Jaden Krause has fallen outside the top 4. Here comes the 0 of Maguire to the inside, and Desmond Busby trying to get that top wound up.
Yeah, top wound up very well there from Desmond Busby. He's chasing down Cameron Kaysen using that high line, but have a look at the pace from the 0. Definitely looks like the bottom line is where it's at, and Busby says, okay, I'm going to join you down there, mate.
He was down there for a couple of laps, just couldn't get anything working, and now here comes the 18 to the inside, trying to make something happen. As you're right on board with Desmond Busby. Busby trying to get that outside line to work for him. He's been searching all heat race long, and he's found something, but Kaysen trying to take it away from him.
Oh, goodness gracious, I love this view. It really gives you a sense for just how wide Kokomo is and the variance of lines that you can see. But Busby definitely looks more comfortable up top, doesn't he? Working his way through nicely. That battle for 3rd and 4th, incredibly tight. We could definitely see Cameron Kaysen potentially make his way through if Maguire and Busby come together.
Final lap, it's all Dylan Yeager up in front. Mike Augustine has been able to get out in front of the battle in behind for position number 3. Checkered flag for Dylan Yeager. He wins. This is the battle for position number 3. Give it to Maguire at the line, I believe. Busby was close, but he is going to lose it by 1/1000th of a second. It's close. It's really close. You can see it right there. Your top 4, Yeager, Augustine, and then Maguire and Busby in a photo finish. Kaysen was searching to the inside, could not make anything happen. Krause falls from Inside the transfer to outside at the finish, Joe Cease and J.D. Brown, who had that great run at the start, going to come home in position number 8. This is heat race number 4 coming up. Final chance to get in. Reese, who's in this one?
Well, championship leader Evan C. is going to start on pole alongside Logan Rumsey in the slick number 41. Stephen Wilson alongside Dylan Wilson. It's an all-Wilson second row there with Drew Hopkins and Tyler Worley in 5th and 6th. Then we got Travis Oldfield and James Edens in the number 52, rounding out this 8-car field. Looking forward to this one. Championship leader Evan C. He's certainly going to have the advantage in this one.
You would think, being up front with the track record that he has this season, he should be one to watch. Logan Rumsey has been strong this year as well, has made every single feature event this year, as has Dylan Wilson to the outside in the 80. You saw Stephen Wilson there in the 10. He's been hot and cold this year. Qualifying hasn't necessarily been his strong suit, but he's going to start in position number 3 and at least start this race inside of a transfer position. Travis Oldfield, another one to watch in the 38. He has not made a feature this season. For more information on this series, your schedule, your standings, how to get involved, how to race your way into this series, one of my favorite portions of this website, Reese, is the spotter guide or the driver's page that you can see all the cars that are on this racetrack, match them to a driver. You can head to iRacing.com/WOOLM for World of Outlaws late models. Once again, iRacing.com/World of Outlaws late models. All the information, comprehensive coverage of this series can be found at iRacing.com/WOOLM. And it's a great, informative website. I keep saying it, Reese, I love that spotters guide because you can match the numbers, the faces, put a face to a car. It's a great tool.
Absolutely is, and you can also watch recaps, have a look at replays of past broadcasts. You can also check out recap articles of every single race so you can get the story of this season. But they are rolling, and it's all going to be up to Evan C. here to try and get the best jump possible off the start.
Evan C. has been the driver to beat all season long in this World of Outlaws late model ButtKicker series. We'll see if anybody can top him tonight. His worst finish in a feature is second. He'll qualify, or he'll start this 4th heat from P1. We'll see if he can hold it through 10 laps. Here they come. Green flag flies. We are back underway. The battle is going to be for position number 2 right off the hop, as C going to take that lead off at 2, and they're side by side behind.
Logan Rumsey sticking with him on the high line, and it looks like he's getting some very good runs there as Stephen Wilson has been trying desperately to make that bottom line work. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working out for the number 10. Look at the momentum they're losing on the straights.
Trying to make something up here. Battle for 3rd is 3 wide as these drivers look at the 80 car of Wilson get it to the inside, and look at the other Wilson. Stephen Wilson got the wall. A good and a bad out of that one as Edens from the back of the field goes to the inside, looking for that spot as you ride on board with Stephen Wilson, one of the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers, as the 52 almost had the spot.
Goodness, you can always count on James Edens to put on a spectacular drive, but Wilson, he's working it nicely up high there, getting the advantage through the corners, but the number 66 trying his best to make the low line work, Number 66, Tyler Worley. Oh man, looks like the high line is starting to come back to these drivers. We'll see how it works out in the last couple of laps of the heat though. I am seeing, as this battle goes on for that final transfer spot, there is still a close battle for the lead as well, but we should stay with this one for a while, I think.
Hey, you said that Logan Rumsey hit the wall off of turn 2, so it's freed up Evan C. for the lead. This is the best battle on the racetrack with Wilson, Hopkins, Stephen Wilson. Tyler Worley's been working that inside. There's a little more contact at the back as the 52 of Edens has to get up on the wheel. They are at 2 laps to go down the bank straightaway. Top 2 have separated themselves from this mess for 3rd on pack.
And that they have. This is incredible racing here for 3rd. And 4th as well. Drew Hopkins, I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble here as Worley goes for the slider up the inside.
Gonna go back to the inside is the 57 checkered flag for Evan C. C will win it. Rumsey in a second. The battle behind goes to Wilson and Drew Hopkins. At the line, Hopkins made that incredible move to pick up fourth. Tyler Worley, James Edens, Stephen Wilson, and Travis Oldfield complete your field. We will see them in a last chance showdown, and we've got two of them coming up next.
This November, dirt racing's most celebrated stars align in an electrifying spectacle. The World of Outlaws World Finals. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte as the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, World of Outlaws Case Late Models, and Super Dirt Car Series Big Blocks collide. 4 action-packed nights, 3 season champions. Get your tickets now. November 2nd through the 5th at the Dirt Track at Charlotte.
The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! World of Outlaws Dirt Racing will be available September 27th. Pre-order your copy today.
The World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Pick up your ButtKicker today at thebuttkicker.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available September 27th on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Pre-order your copy today.
Welcome back to Kokomo. We have just completed 4 heat races. On track now is the first of 2 last chance qualifiers. Reese, who is taking part in this one that'll send 2 to the main?
Well, 8 cars here headed up by Damien Kiefer and Cameron Kaysen. They both finished 5th in Heat 1 and Heat 3 respectively, followed up by Travis St. Clair and Jaden Krause, with Blake Murray and Joe Cease rounding out the first 6 cars. Cody Sieber and J.D. Brown, they were the last finishers in Heat 1 and Heat 3, will start 7th and 8th. We'll see then who can get into the top 2 for their spot into the feature.
If you're keeping score at home, we are at the last chance qualifier number 1, or last chance showdown number 1. 12 laps. We'll add 2 laps and take the top 2. Some more laps, less spots into the main event, plain and simple. And when you look at the drivers that have qualified for all 5 features so far this season, 7 of the 8 already into the main event at Kokomo. The only one that has not punched his ticket yet, Reese, is Damien Kiefer. He starts P1.
That he does, and he'll have the biggest advantage here as we take another look at the temperatures here. 83 Fahrenheit track temperature, 6 miles an hour in terms of wind. That shouldn't affect the drivers too much, but we'll have to wait and see. Interesting to see that the track temp is cooler than the air temp at the moment, but I'd say you'd expect that on a dirt surface. Nice clear conditions here in virtual Indiana.
So you get a good look at Damien Kiefer's number 21 as he tries to race his way into round number 6 at Kokomo, and we continue on to try to fill our 20-car field. 12 laps once again, no cautions in this. When we get to that 50-lap main event later on, caution laps will not count. And we have seen some wild and woolly last chance qualifiers and through these first 5 rounds, and I'm sure we're going to see some action here in these next 5 rounds. Some 5 iconic racetracks we are going to including tonight at Kokomo. As the field rolls off for their first of 2 pace laps, we will see if Damien Kiefer can continue his trend of making it in to main events, but he's got some very strong competition behind. Keep your eye on Jaden Krause. he was locked in, or he was in a locked-in position when we went green flag racing in his heat. And then when we took the checkered, he was on the outside looking in. So keep your eye on that 113.
Yeah, indeed. Certainly a very quick one is Jaden Krause as the cars form up here on their way to the green flag. What can Damien Kiefer do from the first spot?
We'll see what kind of start he gets first. Green flag flies. Battle going to be for position number 2. And hello, 3 wide. Here comes Murray to the inside. Here comes Sieber taking a look in the 357. All up front and all Damien Kiefer. But there's the 13 looking to the inside of the 21. Does he try to make a power move here? Does he slide to the inside? Murray definitely does. The 79 wants to make a piece of this.
Yeah, he certainly does. This is fantastic racing we're seeing here. There's a spin at the back. It looks like Jaden Krause and JD Brown have come together, but we'll keep our attention here at the front because have a look at the run here from Blake Murray. He is battling hard for this second spot with Travis St. Clair, and looking in from the outside, the number 18 of Cameron Kaysen. This could go either way.
It could go either way as the 13 to the outside of St. Clair, Murray to the inside, and you look at Cameron Kaysen from Dallas, Georgia to the back of the battle to transfer in. And Damien Kiefer, he's got a little bit of a lead, but it's not a huge lead as St. Clair tries to chop a little bit of time off that. Kaysen is focused. He doesn't have a whole lot of life than maybe potentially the screen Reese, but he is zoned in and looking to make at least 2 more spots here.
Yeah, look at the concentration on his features there as he tries to go for that late apex out of the corner. He's trying so hard, isn't he? Wow, look at the highline usage there from Travis St. Clair. He's definitely looking to protect that second place at all costs. Start of lap 8 then. Damien Kiefer still in a pretty comfortable lead as almost everyone is switching up to the highline now. Looks like things have calmed down a little bit, but it'll get a lot worse here on the way to the checkered.
Absolutely it will, as Murray has room. There he is. One more shot at it to the inside. Can't get there. There's Damien Kiefer. Kind of looks a little calm than some of the rest of the drivers maybe in this field. Needs to make his bed. But nevertheless, he's still out in front and sees those 2 in behind. No real pressure from behind. St. Clair hasn't made a move in a couple of laps. St. Clair may be concerned with Murray considering these sliders that he's made. Now he goes to the inside. Murray trying to take the outside.
Yeah, looks like Travis is trying to protect that inside line off a potential slider from Blake Murray. That's the thing you got to think about if you're in one of these cars driving on the sim. You got to think about the driver behind. What's he going to do? Keep an eye on your virtual mirror, of course, because these drivers don't have actual mirrors in these cars. But white flag looks like it's going to go Damien Kiefer's way.
And Murray tried to give it a go at the end and was to the left rear but could not make the move. He will be on the outside looking in. So Damien Kiefer and Travis St. Clair will make their 6th and 5th features of the season, respectively. Murray, Kaysen, Sieber, Brown, Krause, and Cease are done for the evening, and they will try to return in a couple of weeks' time when we go back racing here with this ButtKicker late model series for the World of Outlaws. We have one more last chance showdown, and there is some power names at the front of this one.
Yeah, names you wouldn't quite expect, including Hayden Cardwell, who starts on pole alongside Tyler Worley. Ben Caudemarge is going to start alongside James Edens with Felix Roy and Stephen Wilson, 5th and 6th. 7th is going to be Austin Sessions. Travis Oldfield is going to start the number 38 in 8th place, and Nathan Waddell starting in 9th. Soul car on the 5th row. Well, we already saw some controversy between Cardwell and Roy in their Heat 2. We'll have to wait and see whether or not those tempers reignite when we come to the green flag here, as we are in that last chance qualifier 2. Top 2 once again advance through to the feature. It's going to be competitive.
Absolutely it is. Final chance to punch your ticket to that 50-lap main event is right here, and there are some names throughout. For more information on how to get on the iRacing and get behind the wheel of one of these race cars, whether it's one of these race cars, whether it's maybe a dirt street stock, whether it's a dirt modified, maybe you want to go pavement racing, maybe you want to go road racing, maybe you want to do some off-road truck racing, whatever the case may be, you can find it here on iRacing. Head over to iRacing.com and get your career started today. As we look at this field, there we talked about Cardwell up in front. Obviously, Felix Roy, every time he showed up, he has been a driver to watch. Steven Wilson's been up and down. Travis Oldfield looking to make his first feature of the season. There are some stories here to be told as we get ready to go at it for 12 more laps and take 2 more into the feature event.
Indeed, drivers getting ready to roll away behind the pace truck here already, just raring to go here. Of course, these cars have a single gear and no clutch, so the drivers are a little bit jerky off the line there as everyone rolls off and we get ready for this start. Let's see what Hayden Cardwell can do. Remember, Cardwell, champion back in 2019, so he has got a lot of form to back up. The season hasn't gone particularly well for him here in 2022, but we'll see what he can do to try and get it back on track, literally and figuratively, as they come up to the green flag.
And James Edens, keep in mind, won this event back in 2020 for the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series, and he starts this in position number 4. Felix Roy's going to be good. Hayden Cardwell, Tyler Worley up front. It's your best guess as to who is going to take these 2 final transfer positions into the A main. Green flag is out, and Worley already to the inside trying to pick up the spot. Cardwell going to cross the back over. Almost little contact. Yeah, definitely. There goes the 07 of Cardwell to the back of the field, and we're still wrecking them. The 52 gets crossways, and through all of that, Felix Roy is your leader.
Wow, what a turnaround there. That is amazing to see. And it looks like Felix Roy is on his own in the lead at the moment. It's a 3-way battle for second with Austin Sessions trying to hold. Oh, okay, there's been a big wreck down there. Tyler Worley up and over. We got cars tumbling around. Felix Roy involved in that. He's gone all the way to the back.
And through all of that, it looks like Steven Wilson is going to take advantage of that, and Wilson will lead this last chance qualifier. Countermarsh now in second, and Sessions back to third. Battle for the lead, and if these guys hello, look at that number 20 car to the inside. Austin Sessions trying to put a little green in the top 2 spots.
This has been a chaotic second last chance qualifier, hasn't it? If you told me this would be the running order at the halfway point, I'd have laughed in your face. Have a look at that contact for second spot as Ben Countermarsh tries to go for the lead, but Steven Wilson hooking it up around the outside.
You know, if these 3 tangle, Cardwell might very well be back in. He's got a little ways to go as the 20 makes almost a little contact with the wall. It backs up third on back. These top 2 are your transfer positions as you look up to Ben Countermarsh trying to make his way into the A-main and catch Steven Wilson.
Yeah, we didn't catch it, but there was another crash just behind these guys. It looks like Travis Oldfield has found his way into 4th place as we have 4 laps to go now, coming up to 3 as Steven Wilson tries his best to keep Ben Countermarsh behind him. They do well not to battle too hard because they've got a good advantage over the rest of the field.
You mentioned Travis Oldfield running now in position number 3. He has yet to make a main event this year. So if something happens to these top 2, and look at that, the 07 of Cardwell is tore up. That is your 4th place car right now in this last chance qualifier. Should something happen to your top 2, that could be one of your transfer cars. We've seen wilder things in this last chance qualifier. Final lap, Steven Wilson goes to the inside. Countermarsh trying to get it wound up on the outside. Final set of corners, they'll come by, and Steven Wilson will win a wild last chance showdown at Kokomo. Ben Countermarsh in second. Travis Oldfield 1 spot away from cracking the A main for the first time this season. Cardwell, Waddell, Sessions had some tough luck in the second half of that one. James Edens, Felix Roy, and Tyler Worley. Wow. T-Hud and the boys are going to have their work cut out for them on that one. We are going to step away, kind of catch our breath, and bring you back to a 50-lap main event from Kokomo, round number 6, coming up next.
DirtVision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and super dirt car series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. DirtVision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at DirtVision.com.
You wanted the best, you got them for a rest. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! Dirt Racing will be available September 27th. Pre-order your copy today.
The World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series is brought to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Pick up your ButtKicker today at thebuttkicker.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available September 27th on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Pre-order your copy today.
We've been talking about the World of Outlaws dirt game for a long while, Reese, and it comes out September 27th. Hard to believe in a couple of days, that'll be this month. You pick it up for your favorite console, you can learn more, or you want to see the trailer again, worldofoutlaws.com. The career mode looks exciting. Different series. The list goes on and on. First console game for the World of Outlaws in almost 20 years. There's a lot to be excited about for this, so grab it for your favorite console. More information at worldofoutlaws.com. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Pre-orders now available. Mine's already in. I don't know about you.
Yeah, certainly. I'm looking forward to it as well. 25-player multiplayer as well, and that full career mode featuring local, regional, and national events. And, of course, over 40 tracks in total. Confirmed that this track we're racing at tonight, Kokomo, will be part of the game. Make sure to grab it.
I can't wait to play as Dennis Erb Jr. I can't wait for that one. That one is going to be fun when it comes out. Let's get ready to go racing here for round number 6. The halfway point has already been reached in this season, and we are going to kick the can open on the second half of this season. Cars already gritting on this one. What are we going to see over this 50-lap feature that is upcoming? There it is right there. All the heat races, all the LCQs, and all the... Well, I don't want to say all the excitement is done, Reese, because I think we're going to see some more, but we've already seen our share so far tonight.
Yeah, that we have. It's going to be an incredible 50-lap feature. And starting on the pole position is going to be Blake Majulis, looking to get his season back on track with Zach McSwain alongside him on the front row. Dylan Yeager and championship leader Evan Say are going to take up your second row. 5th and 6th are going to be Kendall Tucker and Chase Barbara. What a top 6 that is, as Mike Augustine's going to start alongside Logan Rumsey. Alex Bergeron and Barrett Bishop are going to round out the top 10 here with Christopher Maguire and Dylan Wilson 11th and 12th. Lucky 13th starting spot's going to go to the number 2 of Jesse Wall. He's going to start alongside Justin Norwood, Desmond Busby and Drew Hopkins on the 8th row. Damian Kiefer and Stephen Wilson on row 9. And the field is rounded out by Travis St. Clair and Ben Kaudermarsh, your top 2 from that second last chance qualifier that certainly brought the controversy.
Absolutely, it did. We'll see what kind of race that we get here in the opening laps of this one. As you see, the temperatures dropped 1 more degree to 82. The wind has kind of died down just a little bit. Track temp still at 74, but we've seen some races this season, Reese, where we've gone almost green to checkered. We've seen some races where we've had a slow start, and then we've seen a lot of green flag racing. Quarter-mile racetrack, not a lot of room to really breathe around here. If you're a race car driver, you're up on the wheel at all times. This could be a very interesting feature. We'll see what the pace is like when we get these first couple laps in.
Indeed, if we even get to the first couple of laps before the first caution comes out. But as you said, it should be reasonably clean. We've had some good, long green flag runs throughout this season. Don't forget that caution laps don't count in the feature, so we are likely to get the full 50 laps in. And what a field that is. Some beautiful liveries here. The drivers really pulling out all the stops when it comes to bringing out some beautiful looking race cars.
There's Travis St. Clair on the final row, along with the number 12 of Ben Countermarsh, as they roll off for their first of 2 parade laps. They'll go down the back straightaway and come to 1 to go. Blake Majulis was our winner last week. Will look to continue the momentum and pick up a second consecutive win after coming off the victory at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55. Zach McSwain has qualified really well these last couple of weeks, looking to put it together for a feature victory. Jaeger, Evan C., your championship point leader, and Kendall Tucker begin this race in your top 5. This is round number 6 of the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. Blake Majulis on the hammer. We are underway in round number 6. Quickly to the inside he goes in 2 distinct lines around this racetrack to the first lap, and hello, down to the inside, here comes McSwain.
Yeah, well, he's going to gather it up there on the exit, and he almost keeps the lead there from Blake Majulis. He's running the high line to get that extra momentum, but Majulis, oh my goodness, the slider there. That was so close to contact. Have a look at how competitive this top 5 is. They're almost all the same frame. In fact, they are in the same frame.
McSwain has been making some real power moves to the inside. Here's one more to the inside, and McSwain will pick up the lead again. Majulis gets him on the out of the corner. The 33 of Evan C. quickly the lead as they continue to battle the 127 Majulis. Now the 25 back to the inside. McSwain and Majulis putting on a show up in front.
This is fantastic to watch, and have a look at P3 there, briefly. P2, Evan C. He's trying his best to make it work as we check back in the field to the number 41 of Logan Rumsey. He is right in the midst of this fight, isn't he? Incredible stuff as he battles hard with Christopher Maguire, Mike Augustine up ahead, Kendall Tucker as well, not too far away. Jesse Wall trying to get up the inside as there we go, the leaders once again together coming into the first couple turns.
Throwing sliders and crossovers like it's going out of style. What a beautiful battle up in front. It's almost like it's choreographed, and these guys are doing this every single lap. The 25 going to try to get the run here, and that's the first time I think we haven't seen him go to the inside on a power move like that, and let Majulis take the lead as they complete lap number 8 and falls back into line. C in behind, Jaeger behind him, Barbara still in position number 5, at least for the top 5 or so. We've got some room to breathe here.
We do. Well, just as you say that, to the inside goes Evan C. to try and nab second place. This battle for 9th. Have a look at that. The 0 trying his best here to work things out. 3 wide, Christopher Maguire right in the middle there, and Alex Bergeron trying to round him up around the outside. Awesome to see. It's almost strictly ballroom instead of World of Outlaws late models.
Yeah, they continue to dance for these positions. You see Norwood in that bottom frame trying to get up a couple of positions, and really through all of this we haven't really seen a whole lot of major movers. The top 9 actually started in the top 9 positions. Might not necessarily be in the same spot. Reese, as we continue to work lap number 13, I think the biggest mover might be back there around a guy like a Stephen Wilson or Ben Countermarsh, who have made up a couple of positions. But this battle continues to be intense as Maguire, Norwood, there's Jesse Wall, Alex Bergeron. Haven't spoken much about Bergeron tonight. He's ahead of this battle, and he was almost involved in it as the 2 gets shoved up the hill.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Oh, there's contact there as Stephen Wilson tries to work his way up. Wilson's actually up 5 spots. Started in 18th and now fighting there for 14th, 15th, etc. Trying his best here as there's a big group of cars in the midfield all fighting for those last couple positions outside the top 10. Meanwhile, we see the number 2 here trying to go for that slider on Christopher Maguire, but it seems that Maguire has the outside line sorted. He's almost riding the wall. He's feeding the right rear end.
He's trying to make something happen and get something hooked up there to the inside. Steve Wilson trying to do the same as the 0. Maguire going to get the run off of the corner and take the spot back and ride on board with Steven Wilson. This has been one of the most spirited runs I think he's had all season long. Obviously doing very well for himself in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series as they approach their playoffs. But it's kind of been an up and down year, hot and cold for Steven Wilson on the dirt side. This might be the run to turn everything around in the second half of 2022.
Up into 12th. He's working his way through nicely. He's got a bit of a gap ahead to the battling pair of Jesse Wall and Christopher Maguire, as you can see, continuing to run side by side, but doesn't mean much on dirt oval. Certainly a very difficult proposition, and looking right behind them, let's have a look at the number 80 of Dylan Wilson. He's got Barrett Bishop and a whole gaggle of cars behind him as there's a slider from the number 82 of Desmond Busby. He's trying to work his way up there from 15th. He's still in the position he started in.
This goes to show the talent in this series, Reese. As we just saw that Busby and Bishop battle. Usually that would be for the lead or second or third or right around where we're watching, but that battle was for 14th. There's a lot of competition here as C went up the hill. The momentum from McSwain goes back to the inside. That was a close call, and as they battle back and forth, throwing sliders, this guy is in the picture. Dylan Yeager looking to make something happen here.
Indeed, there's the slider again from Zach McSwain, but Evan C. sees the door open on the outside, goes through. All of this battling is just playing into Blake Majulis's hands. He is streaking away from these guys.
The Yankees hat matches the color of his car. That's kind of neat.
Caution.
Yellow on the Speedway as the truck comes out, and we are under the first caution just at the halfway point, 25 down and 25 to go. Everything was going so smooth. Did I see the 21 at Kiefer maybe off the pace back there? We'll have to see what happened in our replay, but that was a quick little run. We're already halfway through.
Yeah, indeed. It looks like it was Jesse Wall and the number 2 that brought out the caution. Logan Rumsey was trying to go to the inside of Christopher Maguire and Alex Bergeron. We're going to check it out on the replay here. And let's see what happened to the number 2 of Jesse Wall. Check him out here. So goes through the corner, and the battling trio up ahead. Down goes the 41, hits him, and he spins around.
And everybody does a great job avoiding him as we will get back to racing here momentarily. I believe we will double up this time by and get ready to go back at it. Pace truck is in. We saw some great green flag racing. We're going to let you enjoy it here as we get ready to go green and get ready to go full throttle. And we've got one on its dome in turn number 3 and 4, and that will put us under the caution flag for the second time this evening. We've seen a lot of good 2 and 3 wide racing, Reese, but there might have been a little more take than there was give there, and we have one on his roof.
We do indeed, and it is unfortunately Christopher Maguire in car 0. Looked like there was a big checkup back in the field for positions 7, 8, and 9, and unfortunately, looked like Maguire was collected by Dylan Wilson, sent up over his roof. That's very unfortunate to see, but tell you what, it was a very profitable short green flag period there for the likes of Majulis, Say, and Dylan Yeager. Also Kendall Tucker, who has managed to keep his way back into 5th.
Yeah, the top 5 drivers that started in the top 5 positions are there, with the exception of 1 or 2 as the pace car is in. We're getting ready to go back racing quickly. Take a look at this one, and Maguire goes for a wild ride. and he's going to be on the back end looking in. As the green flag flies, we are back underway. Majulis has to get that run to the outside and through the middle. Hello, that was slick.
That was, but we are instantly back under caution. It looks like Dylan Wilson this time is the car that brought it out. Looks like some contact from behind from Barrett Bishop.
And Wilson was that car that we just saw on the last caution get into Christopher Maguire, who still sits on pit road as they try to repair that race car for what it's worth. Here's the 80 car on your screen. You see the 10 of Stephen Wilson to the inside, Mike Augustine in front of him, and little tap from Bishop to send him around. And I don't think St. Clair got into him, but it was mighty close. So that'll send the 80 towards the back of the field. And what about the slick little move by the 127?
Indeed. It was fantastic to see there from Blake Majulis, just threading the needle between those cars. You can see just how confident he is in that number 127 and showing why he's former champion of this series.
He split the dime into two nickels. We'll see if there's any sort of excitement or action on this restart and see if we can get some laps in. We have 27 laps completed of this one. We are working the completion of lap 28. Majulis is your leader with McSwain on the outside. They are coming to, oh, hello, they're still at it, and at the back of the field they're spinning. We stay green for the time being, but what a move up in front. Majulis, a little bit of an easier time, but McSwain has to come through the middle.
Oh, and they briefly go 4 wide through turn 4. That's amazing to see. Evan C. is trying his best here to hold off so many other drivers. The 00 of Kendall Tucker is really involving himself in the podium fight now. Have a look at him go.
Stephen Wilson looking to the inside and making some moves. He may be on the podium before the end of this lap. The number 10 is making some moves. Kendall Tucker wants to get away from that mess. McSwain holding on. You look back to the mess from Majulis, and there's one around. It's Mike Augustine.
Oh, that's a big shame there. Caution out, and it looks like it was contact there with Logan Rumsey that turned him around.
And Mike Augustine having a great run, running up into the top 10. Looks like it might not end per se, Reese, but it's going to put him behind the field as we will take a look at what happened here. And you're going to see the 19 on your screen. That is Mike Augustine, and following the 10 of Wilson. We talked about him having a good march in the front. Just got tagged by Yeager and into the line of Rumsey and goes around to bring the yellow flag out. So the 19 will have his work cut out for him, as we'll probably start around 18th or 19th as we get ready to go green next time by. Majulis and McSwain once again going to be up in front, but man, oh man, they have been putting on a show in behind them.
They absolutely have. That midfield battle has been nothing short of incredible. I hope that we get a nice green flag run here to end the race, because we made it almost to the halfway point under green, didn't we? Let's hope that it works out that way for these final 19 laps.
These drivers looking to find themselves a rhythm. Blake Majulis, Zach McSwain have held the top two positions for most of the opening 32 laps of this one. We'll see if they can continue to do so. They fly down the front straightaway. Green flag in the air. It's Majulis up in front. Kendall Tucker's got something to say, though, as does McSwain. Power move to the outside.
Yeah, Majulis holding the outside nicely there, but McSwain, he's holding them off there and getting a little few taps there from Evan Say as well. Stephen Wilson, what about that number 10? He's really involved himself in the podium fight now as well. Fantastic to see, but have a look at the pressure he is under. He's got the likes of Dylan Yeager, Chase Barbara, etc. all the way through. And oh, have a look at this. They're briefly going to go almost 5 wide through the turn. It's so close. Majulis is streaking away, but have a look at how they're battling behind. Wilson coming up to second.
They are leaning into each other. Barrett Bishop has entered the top 10. Justin Norwood has entered the top 10. 3 wide, Chase Barber in the middle. Stephen Wilson in second. Yeager up the hill, and there goes the 25 back to the inside. It's hard to call. 4 wide, 3 wide, every single lap. Where do you watch?
Oh, goodness, you watch this fight here in the midfield, because there were cars bumping off each other like it was Dodgems. Fantastic stuff here. We have 13 laps to go. What's going to happen in these last 13 laps? That 48 of Dylan Yeager trying to work the inside here, but have a look at the run around the outside from Kendall Tucker, who's trying desperately to hold on to a position in the top 5 here.
Zach McSwain ran second for most of this race. He is mired back and barely holding on to a top 10 effort as Evan C. able to get by Steven Wilson for a moment, and I say for a moment because Wilson continues to put the work boots on to the inside and march back to second place. They continue to go side by side. Battle for second behind Blake Majulis with 10 to go.
Well, Majulis can afford to be nice and calm here. It's anything but calm in this battle for second. Evan C. definitely getting the outside line working nicely. Look at how close to the wall he's running, just being a little bit lower on the way through turns 3 and 4. Wilson does seem to try and round him up there, as that was a slider I just saw from Kendall Tucker, trying to get back into 4th versus Logan Rumsey. But this battle for second looks like, for the time being, Evan C. has won it. It's going to take one heck of a slider from the number 10.
This is a mess back here. You see the 2 of Wall, the 80 of Wilson, the who do you pick here? The Busby's in here, Norwood's in here. Alex Bergeron is trying to hold on to a top 10 run. That's Damian Kiefer from a last chance showdown up into the top 10. It continues to be a dogfight outside about the top 5 or so as Majulis continues to hold the point. There's Dylan Yeager on the outside of Chase Barbara. Battle for 6. Kendall Tucker had a solid run going here at the end. It's kind of stalled out around the 5th place spot.
Yeah, it kind of has, hasn't it? But they get so close to the wall, don't they? Tucker, he's trying his best there to ride the wall and get the run as the 23 of Chase Barbara protects that inside line just ahead on the way into the next corner. But Tucker is under a massive amount of pressure here from Dylan Yeager. As to the inside, Tucker goes. Is this slider going to be successful? No, not for the time being. Barbara is holding on nicely as there's a slider in response from Dylan Yeager. They're all backing each other up here.
And they will come to the white flag, a final lap in round number 6 at Kokomo Speedway. And it's been all Blake Majulis. Evan C. is closing in at the end. Rapid fire to the end, but it's going to be Blake Majulis holding on for his 3rd win of the season in round number 6 of the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Model Series. Evan C. has to settle for 2nd and matches his worst finish of the year in feature competition. That says something when you finish P2. And oh, by the way, how about the run by Steven Wilson to come home with a convincing 3rd after starting 18th tonight? Look at the field at the end. Logan Rumsey, Dylan Yeager, top 5. Chase Barbara, Kendall Tucker, Alex Bergeron, Zach McSwain, and Damian Kiefer, your top 10. Second half includes Jesse Wall, Drew Hopkins, Justin Norwood. Man, what a tough break for Mike Augustine, finishing in 14th after starting and being up in the top 10 for most of the first half of this race. Desmond Busby, Barrett Bishop, 16th. We're not used to seeing that name deep in the field. Travis St. Clair, 17th. Ben Countermarsh, 18th. 19th is Dylan Wilson. And after his little ride, Christopher McGuire is going to finish in position number 20, 1 lap down from the finish. But man, what a show up front. Evan C. poured it on at the end, but could not catch our winner for a 3rd time this season, Blake Majulis. What a show. I don't know what else to say. It was a great race.
Yeah, certainly was. That was fantastic. My first time in the commentary booth for World of Outlaws late models, and what an introduction to the series in a commentary sense.
We are going to catch up with our winner, Blake Majulis. And Blake, it was kind of calm for you at the end. Evan C. was making the move, but what was going through your mind those final couple of laps as Evan kind of freed himself from that traffic and got a little closer?
Oh yeah, I was just trying to run smooth laps there. Just trying to keep the car clean, and I knew I had a little bit of a lead, so the top was very difficult to run. I didn't want to go too crazy on it and let Evan catch up. So I was just trying to run my race and be smooth and smart, and it played out for sure. I think Evan was racing pretty hard there, but I'm glad he was able to get the 2nd. But those restarts are really difficult for me. Obviously, you saw almost every restart someone would slide me. with the start rule there and on the restarts, starting so late, the guy on the outside could almost time it every time. So it made it fun and definitely challenging, but definitely glad to have it over with and come out with a win.
Second half of the season now. We've got 2 in a row leading into the meat of the season. Got an off week next week before we tackle those final 4 weeks. Is this the momentum shift that you need to propel yourself to a championship?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said last week, I think we've had it since the start. Just that one race at Eldora really upset the championship run. Like I said, something severe is going to have to happen to get it done. But all I can do is keep winning races and staying up front, getting poles like we've been doing, and if I can't win, hopefully Evan can get it done.
Taking care of what you can. Congratulations on your 3rd win of the season.
Appreciate it, boss.
That's Blake Majulis winning another one here on the World of Outlaws ButtKicker Late Models Series, and finishing in a second, and a hard charge at the end was Evan C. And Evan, you got close at the end. Besides a couple of laps, what else did you need?
Yeah, I think we just needed a little bit more laps, or start on the pole. I feel like we definitely had the speed to win that race. Just man, those restarts were pretty wild. So Blake kind of had definitely the best seat. Starting on pole in those starts and being able to control the race. But when we was able to make it through the second there, and kind of missed some, a lot of contact and battling out for second and third there, and just we was able to squeak by on one of those restarts and just try and reel Blake in. But overall it was still a good race for us, and definitely wish we could have got the win, but still happy with second.
This was a wild race with everybody kind of on top of each other in the middle of the pack, but when you look at your season, 6 races, worst finish of second, could you script it any better?
No, I mean we've just been super consistent and had good speed, and no matter what the track is, slick or tacky, we've just really been on top of our game, and couldn't ask for much better. I mean, even running as much as I'd want to win, these races, seeing that we're so fast at the end of them, is can't complain running second and leading the points. So just looking forward to the next races, and a lot of tracks that I like, and so looking forward to it.
Congratulations on another podium, and enjoy your off weekend on Labor Day.
Yep, thank you.
That's Evan C., your championship leader, coming home in second this evening, and we're going to catch up with our 3rd place finisher, and man, this guy had a spirited run to the end of this race, coming home with position number 3, his best finish of the season. It's Stephen Wilson. It's been a long time since we've been able to do this.
Yeah, it has,
Let's talk about that run. You came from 18th. This race has been wild, to say the least. How did you do it?
Well, I had some good setup assistance this week, so we showed up with a piece that was worth the while. So, we just started 18th. I was pretty good on the tacky track, and just was using that to my advantage. And crazy restarts, we just got some good positions.
I want to ask you about the last chance qualifier, because that was a little wacky, a little bit insane. Guys being taken out in front of you. How did you piece yourself through that?
Yeah, it looked like someone was just on the track in front of the leader there into one, and we just tried to drive through it pretty much, and it worked. So, but hopefully we can bring this good speed to every other race. It was kind of really hectic. Been a lot of wrecks tonight. I don't know. I've only made one other race, so I think this was one of the races with the most wrecks that we've had, but it was still fun. Good to go from 18th to 3rd.
We've got an off week on this series coming up next week for Labor Day, but you are racing tomorrow in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Obviously, you're playoff bound, so you don't really have to worry about the intensity of the bubble, but what's your thoughts going into tomorrow night?
We're just trying to take some good momentum into the playoffs over there, and had good speed over there all year, so don't think anything's going to change. Just got to hope that maybe you can get squeak a teammate in like Dylan, squeak him in the playoffs. So that's our goal for tomorrow, and we'll be hopefully bringing some good momentum onto the playoffs in that series.
Well, congratulations on tonight. Go win that thing tomorrow.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
That's Steven Wilson finishing in position number 3, and what a run to the front of the field to finish in third. And we chatted about points and how big Evan C's lead was. Reese, it's still fairly big. Blake Majulis cut a couple of points off to 43.
Indeed, it was the gap's narrowed just a little bit, but still, it's a big gap ahead to Evan C. for Blake Majulis. If he wants that title, he's going to have to rely on C potentially having a bad race from next round at Knoxville onwards, but you see that the gap has extended a little bit between Jaeger and Tucker. It is now 4 points. It was only 3 just before. Points awards are very close in this series, so if you have one bad race, it's very difficult to make up that gap.
I think the biggest thing on that screen was that 15th place. It's now almost 300 points between 1st and 15th. The next race, though, as you mentioned, is Knoxville. Note the date. We are off next week for Labor Day. Go enjoy a cookout. Go enjoy your Labor Day long weekend. Come back with us on September 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be at Knoxville for round number 7. You want to talk about an iconic racetrack? That is definitely one that I have circled on my schedule.
Absolutely. Knoxville is a fantastic circuit in any kind of dirt racing. Super wide, super open. We should see some incredible racing there.
This was a fun night. Lots of action, lots of excitement. Reese, thank you for joining me. This was fun.
Yeah, indeed it was, Tim, and thanks for having me. Certainly a fantastic job there by Blake Majulis. Just came above everyone else, rose above it all to win that feature. We'll see what happens in the rest of the season.
That is it for this evening. Round number 6 is completed. Congratulations to Blake Majulis on a second consecutive win. For Reese Gardner and all of our crew here at iRacing, my name is Tim Terry. We will see you in 2 weeks' time when we say let's go racing from Knoxville. Until then, keep the hammer down and we'll see you at the track.